Have you ever tried to make a change in your life? Maybe lose weight, starting a new habit, or trying to level up in some type of way. But after a few weeks or months later, you fall back into those same old patterns. I've been there too. And what I've realized is that starting is actually the easy part. The hard part is making it stick. And that's what I want to talk about today. The mindset shift that actually makes change last. Hi, my name is Alex, and welcome to the First Step Forward. In today's video, we talk about how a slight shift in your mindset can actually help make change stick. Most people fail to maintain change because they rely too much on motivation. We wait for that burst of inspiration or that perfect moment to show up. But the truth is, that moment almost never comes. Or sometimes we focus on the results, the number on the scale, likes on the video, the goal we want to hit. And when progress feels slow, we feel discouraged. But the real reason change doesn't stick isn't because we're not trying hard enough. It's because our identity hasn't caught up yet. You can't just do an action once or twice and expect it to become part of who you are. The shift I'm talking about is simple, but it's powerful. Change sticks when your identity changes along with it. It's not just about doing the action. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally does that action. For example, instead of saying, I want to exercise more, you say, I'm the kind of person that prioritizes my health. Instead of saying, I need to be more disciplined, you say, I'm the kind of person who does what I say I'm going to do. That small shift in thinking changes everything. Where this mindset shift became real for me wasn't just in habits or goals. It was in my relationships. It's easy to talk about change when things are simple. It's harder when emotions are involved. When you're hurt, when you're frustrated, when you feel misunderstood. That's where I realized I needed something bigger than motivation. I needed a North Star. For me, a North Star is the version of yourself that you're committed to becoming, regardless of how anyone else shows up. It's not based on outcome. It's not based on validation. It's not based on whether someone responds the way that you hope they will. It's based on your values. I had to ask myself, who do I want to be in hard moments? Who do I want to be when I'm triggered? Who do I want to be when I don't get the response I hoped for? And my North Star became this. I want to be calm instead of reactive. I want to be honest instead of avoidant. I want to be respectful, even when I'm hurt. I want to lead with integrity, not ego. Before defining that, I would respond emotionally. If I felt defensive, I would defend myself. If I felt hurt, I would react. If I felt anxious, I would try to control the situation. But once I had a North Star, everything changed. Now, before I respond, whether it's a text message, a conversation, or a difficult interaction, I pause and ask myself one question. Does this align with the man that I said I want to be? And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes I realize I'm going to respond from fear, pride, or insecurity. That pause, that moment of checking alignment, that's where growth happens. The North Star doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're directional. It gives you something to steer towards. And what I've learned is that real change sticks when your behavior is anchored to identity, not emotion. When you know who you're trying to become, your responses start to shift. Not overnight, but consistently. And the beautiful part is this. Even if the outcome doesn't go the way that you want, even if someone doesn't respond the way that you hoped, you still win because you showed up aligned. So how do you build a North Star? How do you go from just trying to change to becoming someone different? Here's what helped me. First, define who you want to be in hard moments, not just the easy ones. It's easy to say you want to be patient or disciplined when everything's going well. The real question is, who do you want to be when you're hurt, when you're frustrated, when you don't get the outcome that you wanted? That's where your identity is tested. Second is putting your North Star into one clear sentence. Not a paragraph, not something vague. One sentence that you can remember. For example, I'm the kind of person that responds with integrity, even when it's uncomfortable. Or, I'm someone who keeps my word, even when it's hard. If you can't remember it in the moment, you won't live by it. The third thing is build in a pause before you respond. This was huge for me. Before sending a message, before speaking in a tense conversation, before reacting emotionally, just pause and ask, does this align with who I said I want to be? That question alone has changed the way I show up. And finally, accept that you won't get it right every time. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Even catching yourself after the fact and adjusting, that's growth. That's identity forming in real time. At the end of the day, change doesn't stick because you try harder. It sticks because you decide who you are, and then you start acting in alignment with that decision. Motivation fades, emotions fluctuate, outcomes are unpredictable. But identity gives you direction. So I'll leave you with this. Who do you want to be? Especially when it's hard. Define that, write it down, make it your North Star. And the next time that you're faced with a choice, a reaction, or a moment that tests you, pause and steer towards that version of yourself. That's where real change happens. If this resonated with you, leave in the comments what your North Star is. I'd love to hear it. And as always, keep growing.